From the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia, this is Inside West Virginia Politics with Rick Johnson. Inside West Virginia Politics is brought to you by AARP West Virginia, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Now, Inside West Virginia Politics.
Hello and welcome to Inside West Virginia Politics. I'm Rick Johnson. Our first guest is Sean Hornbuckle, a Democrat serving as the minority leader in the West Virginia House of Delegates. We welcome Delegate Hornbuckle, aka Mr. Marshall, to Inside West Virginia Politics. Delegate, welcome aboard.
Glad to be here, Rick. Thank you.
And I wasn't making up that Mr. Marshall. That's a fact.
That is true. Yes, sir.
Hey, we wanted to get started here in a moment talking about the kitchen table tour, which could be coming to a town near any of our viewers here in the state of West Virginia. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself, born and raised in Huntington, and sort of take it from there.
Yes, sir. So born and raised in Huntington, attended Huntington High School, played basketball, football there, the whole bit, then went to Marshall University. Got my undergrad in sports management marketing. Then I went on to grad school to earn my MBA. And while there was Mr. Marshall, as you alluded to earlier, and also student body president. Yes, sir.
Very good. And then we kind of go forward to now serving in your sixth term as a delegate. What district is it again?
The 25th.
25th District, serving those folks in the West Virginia House of Delegates. And again, you are the minority leader there. And I wanted to get right into what's called the Kitchen Table Tour, Delegate. That's coming up in a couple of weeks. Can you give us a little idea of what that's all about?
Absolutely, absolutely. So my caucus and myself, we've been, really cultivating this baby for a while, and now it's time for the show. And our whole thing is we want to go out into all the communities across West Virginia, and it's going to take some time, but this is sort of our initial launch, and we want to get back to kitchen table issues. This state has gone far off the beaten path. We're worried about things that do not put food on the table for folks, do not lower their light bill. All those issues, they just don't make any sense, right? And so we want to go out, connect with our constituents, and hear from their mouth what they are interested in, what keeps them up at night, and what's most important to them.
And who will be welcome at this kitchen table?
Oh, everyone's welcome. And that's the only way we do things. All right. And so this is not a party thing. Now, yes, myself and my colleagues in the House on the Democratic side are putting this together, but we want everybody to come. We want D's, we want R's, we want I's, we want rural, we want city, we want it all. And there might be some gripes and complaints that maybe, that we don't know about, right? There might be some things that we are disagreements with, but that's okay. This is how it's supposed to work. This is true democracy, being a representative of our communities and putting forth what they want first, not our own self-interest. Again, we've gone on a terrible road in politics to where everybody has self-serving issues, right? We want to make sure that we're taking care of West Virginians. We hear them loud and clearly. We have done that on an individual basis within my caucus, but now we're teaming up as a group to go out together and listen as a collective unit.
Do you feel that there are certain areas of West Virginia that totally feel forgotten by everybody?
Yes, I do. And, again, I've, as you alluded to, I've been here about a decade. But I pride myself on not being a part of the bubble, right? And there's a lot of places across West Virginia that if you're not in Charleston, they do feel left out. I think one of the biggest ones is probably the Southern Coalfields. I know that they feel that way, and I know it's not just their issue, but they have a ton of issues down there in the Southern Coalfield with their infrastructure, right? Trying to get up to speed with the internet, not having clean drinking water, which is unacceptable in 2025. And I know they've got some other things coming down the pike, and so again, we want to be able to hear them out, conversate with them, and see how we can work together to fight for them. But I also know folks in the Northern Panhandle. They feel like they haven't been heard. Some folks in Central West Virginia, you look at Central West Virginia, it is prime right there for economic development, but a lot of times it just doesn't seem like we're getting any traction there. Eastern Panhandle, they've got a growing population, but again, they're out there. And so my Democratic House Caucus, we're going to do everything in our power to deepen our relationships with our communities, go out and hear them, and put their issues on the table.
What's a website that one could go to get more information about the kitchen table tour?
Yes, so you can follow us, West Virginia House Democrats, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any social media avenue. We will also be continuously putting out press releases and trying to have write-ups and things of that nature in your local newspaper as well.
Well, we have run out of time, Delegate. We thank you for joining us, and we'll keep track of what happens with the tour once it gets started on September the 11th.
Awesome. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you. That is Delegate Shawn Hornbuckle, and we are back in just a moment on Inside West Virginia Politics. Welcome back. The West Virginia Department of Natural Resources reminds hunters about the upcoming youth seasons and changes to regulations. And to break it down for us is West Virginia DNR Director Brett McMillian. Brett, welcome to Inside West Virginia Politics.
Well, thank you for having me.
Tell us just a little bit about yourself before we get started.
You bet. I'm a small-town West Virginia guy. I grew up in Nettie, West Virginia, in Nicholas County, attended Richwood High School, went to Potomac State, then graduated from WVU. Out of college, worked a couple of different jobs, and finally landed a start with the DNR and Parks at Panther State Forest. Transferred to Bluestone, then to Pipestem. Then I landed at a role as Deputy Chief of Parks in South Charleston. And then in March of 22, landed in this role as the director, and I'm just thrilled to death to be here. 2 kids, 3 grandkids. I am just absolutely blessed.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for that. Let's talk a little bit about what's coming up here. We have youth hunting season coming up and some regulations that have been changed. Gosh, the seasons, we have squirrel and black bear hunting for youth that opens in September, and some other seasons as well. Let's just start with, if we could, what are some of the upcoming changes to the regulations?
You bet. We've got a couple of changes this year, and the biggest that we've had some comments on would be changes to the special youth season age. And this will begin in 2025. And this was based on some public comments that we'd received at our Natural Resource Commission meetings. The commissioners and the agency became aware of the desire from hunters in the state to reevaluate the minimum age for children to participate in these youth seasons. At that time, and up until this year, a youth hunter who was under the age of 8 couldn't participate in our special youth seasons prior to this. So we evaluated what we could do, what the public's desire would be, and did agree that it was inconsistent to have that minimum age of 8 when in standard hunting seasons, there was no restriction. So we did have to look at the legislative rules and the code to determine what steps we needed to take to rectify this. We were able to propose a change to a legislative rule, and that change was approved by the legislature in early 2025. And then once that change was made, we presented that information to the Natural Resource Commission with possible recommendations. And at the May 4, 2025 meeting, the Natural Resources Commission voted to eliminate the minimum youth age. Well, so what did that mean?
Yeah.
That means any child under 18 may participate in these special seasons. Youth hunters under the age of 15 do still have to be with a licensed adult who can be present and provide the guidance and assistance needed. And an adult accompanying the youth hunter is not allowed to hunt or carry a firearm for that particular season. Mm-hmm. Youth hunters who harvest game must still check it in with their ELS system under their own account. We can't use a parent or another hunter's account for that. And then the last thing I would add there is just always be sure and check our regs for any youth bag limit changes and to find out which season harvest count towards the bag limits, etc. So it's a pretty significant change, but it does make it a little easier for those that are trying to teach the youth to get out and hunt and take advantage of every opportunity they can, especially since these seasons come in a little earlier than some of the the main seasons where they might have a little more competition out there. So we're pretty excited about the change. And frankly, we had a lot of public comment pointing this direction. And, we do try to take in the social aspect when we're looking at regulations and changes as well. And this is one that certainly fell into that category.
Well, I tell you what, I think what we can do at this point, since we're running out of time, is to direct our audience to a website to get more information. And what would that be?
wvdnr.gov, and then you can click on several of the links. We've got hunting, fishing, lots of good info on that website. We're very proud of it. And then you can also get into the regulation books, which are available at many local retailers, et cetera. And that has all of our district office phone numbers. Heck, I think my phone number's even in there. So we're glad to give out information, and just would love for hunters and anglers to get out and enjoy these beautiful natural resources in West Virginia. And we have the best in the world.
Absolutely. Hey, our thanks to WVDNR Director Brett McMillian for being with us. Brett, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. You're just in time for On the Record with Amanda Barron.
Nice to see you.
Hey, it's nice to see you. Thanks for joining us here today.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Tell us about On the Record and how one can watch what's going on there.
So this is the new show that we have. It's every night at 8 o'clock. It's on the WOWK Plus app. So if you have a smart TV, you can download it with your with Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Roku. I talk like I know like all these things about technology and apps.
Impressed.
But what I can tell you is that it's a show that we do on the TV app. It's only a TV app. It is every night at 8 o'clock. There's a fresh episode with the day's big newsmakers, and it's a fun conversation.
Yeah, it is, and I've caught it. So yeah, and I know that. We recently sat down with someone very special to the folks in Huntington and Marshall University, and she's got a big event coming up as well.
She does, yes. The First Lady of Marshall University, Elise Smith, she was really excited about being able to not come back to this region, because she's actually from the Akron area. So we're both Northeast Ohio girls who have adopted this region. But she said that this was a moment in time in her life where she could come and serve a community. And she's doing that in so many different ways in her capacity as First Lady. But she's hosting a summit. It's the Women Warriors Summit, and it's going to take place on Friday, October 24th.
And why did do you know why she started this series of programs?
It was just an opportunity for her to give back and think about ways that she could empower women. And it's not just for women, it's for some brave men too. But really it's a place where people can go and have common conversations. So every year is a different topic. This year's topic is the power to pivot. And so I think a lot of women can relate to that, dealing with home and dealing with the workplace, and how do you make a decision that's best for your family and best for you. And she's got some really powerful speakers that'll be there to be a part of it.
Well, I tell you what, without further ado, let's go ahead and go on the record with Amanda Barron and Elise Smith.
What was it? How did you make those decisions? How could you suggest to somebody right now about making a major decision to pivot in your life? How do you know when it's time?
For me, Brad and I, when he asked me, I've been told that I should put my name in and apply for the job to be president of Marshall. What do you think of that? And he and I went around and round, and we do pros and cons lists, and we talk about it. And it was months of him being up, me being down, then vice versa. For him, he was going back home. For me, I'm from Akron, Ohio, so it wasn't home. But certainly now it is. I'm adopting this state. But I think it takes a lot of thinking. What are the best reasons to make this change? What's the worst thing that could happen? Am I happy where I am? You have to ask a lot of those questions. But I can tell you this. My question to me was, if I am doing what I'm doing now, even though I love it, in 5 years, how would I feel about that? How would I look back? What would the answer to that question be? And for me, it was, I would feel like I wasn't doing enough because I've been doing this. It's time for something new. And just imagining that having a new platform would give me more opportunities to do some of the things that I really thought were important supporting women in doing more and becoming their best. So this whole idea of pivoting is really about being open to adapt to new things. And that's really what Brad and I did.
That's Elise Smith on the record with Amanda Barron. And the summit's coming up pretty soon, isn't it?
Yes, it's in a couple of weeks. It's going to be on Friday, October 24th. And, I was thinking about if somebody thought, oh, I don't know if I should spend that money. It is an investment in yourself. But beyond that, if there is a woman in your life that you think, she might really enjoy hearing from this panel of speakers and, pivoting at this time in her life, what a great early holiday gift to get somebody. And it's a day of a little, self-care.
Hey, and you can go on the record with Amanda Barron on WOWK+. We're going to take a short break and be right back with more of Inside West Virginia Politics. Welcome back. Tim Armstead, Justice of the West Virginia State Supreme Court, passed away at the age of 60 this past week. Charleston attorney Rusty Webb served with Tim in the House of Delegates a few years back. And joining us right now to talk about Tim is Rusty Webb. Rusty, welcome to Inside West Virginia Politics.
Good to be here, Rick. Thank you.
Yeah. We're really very, very sorry to hear, obviously, about Tim and what he meant to this community. You served with him and became friends. And tell us a little bit about Tim. What would you like for everyone to know about him?
Well, first and foremost, Tim was a man of faith and a man of family. Those were his first two priorities. And then after that, he had a burning desire to serve the state of West Virginia, as is evidenced by his legacy with the state. I think he's accomplished something that no one in my lifetime has accomplished, and I've been studying West Virginia politics for 50 years now. And that is, he served in the executive branch as a member of Governor Moore's staff. He served in the legislature, as a member and the speaker eventually, and then ultimately rising to the role of Chief Justice of the West Virginia Supreme Court. No one else I know has ever accomplished that. That's quite an accomplishment.
When I was in talk radio here in Charleston, we had Tim on with us many, many times on the show. He's kind of a low-key guy, if you will, and you just went through all the things that he accomplished, and he did it in a quiet, sort of methodical way. He didn't make a lot of noise. I mean, that's just the kind of guy I got to know anyway.
Yeah, he was there. He was that way publicly and privately. He was very humble. I mean, even when you tried to brag on him, he just looked down and laugh, because he never, he's not the kind of person who would, get to a position and then exploit it or brag about it. He was extremely humble. From even being the Speaker of the House in so many years since Republicans had done it, and then being, in the West Virginia Supreme Court, always humility was his vanguard, and very private. But he would, he wasn't shy. He would speak his mind. As you know, he would tell you what his policies are, what his philosophy is. And if you disagreed with that, he respected your opinion, but he also had his, his policies. So that's very rare in a politician as well, or a jurist, or any position like that. Very rare attitude.
I know that at one time there was a group of delegates here in Kanawha County that were known as the Four Horsemen, and you happened to be a part of that, as well as Tim and two other folks as well.
We had a huge legacy that started in 1992. The Democrats created a district that they obviously thought was hopefully going to be Democrat, and it turned out to be four conservative Republicans. And I was a second generation Four Horsemen. I had run basically for Jay Nesbitt's seat when Jay retired, and Tim ran for that same seat. And first time around, I actually, I beat Tim out for that seat. And then years later, in 1998, he was appointed by Governor Underwood to become a member of the 32nd District, and we wore that banner proudly. It wasn't intended to be good; it was intended to be derogatory, but we accepted it proudly. I just had a photo that just 4 days ago I put out on Facebook with us in my convertible. It was me, Ron, Tim, and Steve, and that would have been somewhere between 1998 and 2004 when I left the legislature.
Yeah.
And we were really proud of our fight for we were what I like to tell people, Rick, we were Republicans before it was cool.
Rusty, I'm sorry, we are running out of time. We thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes, a look back over the life of one Tim Armstead, who's going to be missed immensely in our area. Rusty, thank you so much. And that's all the time we have for now. Join us next weekend for Inside West Virginia Politics.